Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we're going to learn about IELTS Writing Task 1. We're going to learn how to write a letter of application. Now, I'm going to begin the lesson by giving you some very essential tips about IELTS Writing Task 1. Remember, this particular task 1 is for the general training students. If you are an academic student, when it comes to IELTS writing task 1, you are supposed to write a report. So this particular lesson is for students who want to sit for IELTS general training. So I'll begin by giving you some essential tips when it comes to letter writing. When it comes to your task 1 as a general training student, you should always spend 20 minutes on the letter. That is 20 minutes. Secondly, spend about 3 to 5 minutes planning and the rest of the time writing. So 3 to 5 minutes planning your letter and then the rest of the time writing. Number 3, always leave 2 minutes to check your letter for spelling or grammar mistakes. Always make sure that at the end of the test you have 2 minutes to check your letter for spelling or grammar mistakes. The next tip I'm going to give you is that remember you will need a full 40 minutes for task 2 because you're writing task 1 and task 2 are combined as one test and you get 1 hour to write task 1 and task 2. So spend 20 minutes on task 1 and the rest of the time, that is 40 minutes, writing task 2. Now remember, it is your responsibility to control the time in your writing test. You get 1 hour and it's up to you to decide how to spend it. The next tip that I'm going to give you is that when it comes to your letter, you're supposed to write more than 150 words. You are allowed to write more than 150 words. Aim for between 160 and 180 words to be safe. That will guarantee that you can write that letter in 20 minutes because the longer you write your letter, the more time you're going to spend on it, meaning that you will not have time to complete your task 2. Now, remember that your letter is worth 33% of your final writing score. That is 33% of your final writing score. You do not need to write an address on the letter. Pay close attention to who you're writing to and the relationship you have with that person, because this is going to decide your style of writing and your tone. Also, pay attention to the aim of the letter. What is the purpose of the letter? It is essential that you use the 3 points to structure your letter. In your question, you will always get 3 points and you should always make sure that you use the 3 points to structure your letter and provide the foundation for your letter. Remember, all points must be included clearly in your letter. If you fail to include all the points in your letter, your band score will be lower and you don't want that. So make sure that you include details about all the 3 points in the question. Now, you must use your own imagination to fill in details and decide the names of the people in your letter. And always begin your letter by addressing the person and then an opening line, and remember to always sign off the letter appropriately. Now, Let's look at the question. The first step when it comes to your IELTS Writing Task 1, that is your letter, is to read the question and make sure that you understand it. Let's understand this question together. You saw an advert in the newspaper asking for volunteers to help run a charity event. So you are reading a newspaper and then you saw an advertisement. And in this advertisement, they are asking for volunteers, that is, people to go and help to run a charity event. Now, write a letter of application to the organizers. So you're supposed to write the letter of application to be sent to the organizers of the charity event. In your letter, point 1A, explain why you're interested in helping. B, give details on suitable past experience. C, suggest ways you might help with the event. So you now know what the question is asking you to do. The next step is to begin writing the letter. We are going to begin the letter with the salutation. And in this case, we don't know the name of the person who is going to be reading this letter. So we are going to, and we don't know whether it's a man or a woman either. So we are going to use Dear Sir, stroke, Madam. Sir, because it could be a man, Madam, because it could be a woman. And then at the end of that, we're going to use a comma. Dear Sir, stroke, Madam, comma. So that is step number 1. Step number 2, we are going to write the title of the letter. This is a formal letter. So we are going to write the title of the letter, that is the reference of the letter. Now, this is optional. You may choose to do it or not to do it. It is not compulsory. So, step 2, we write the title of the letter and we begin with, in capital letters, RE, that means reference. Application for a position as a volunteer. You are applying for a position as a volunteer. Remember to write that in capital letters and don't forget the colons after RE. RE stands for reference. RE colon application for a position as a volunteer. It is always very, very good when you write a title or a reference for your formal letter. It helps the receiver to know exactly what the letter is about. Remember to do that in capital letters. Now, once you have done that, then we move on to step 3. And in step 3, we are going to introduce the letter. That is the introduction of the letter. When someone reads the first paragraph of a letter, they know exactly what it is that you are writing about. Now we begin by saying, with reference to your advertisement in the Times, remember you read the advertisement of this particular volunteer position, you read that in a newspaper. So you have to make the reader know where you got that information about the fact that they need volunteers from. How do you know they need volunteers? So with reference to your advertisement in the Times. Times is the name of the newspaper. So with reference to your advertisement in the Times on August 28th, I wish to apply for a position as a volunteer to help in the running of your upcoming event. So you begin by letting the person know where you got the information about the fact that they need volunteers from, with reference to your advertisement in the Times and when you saw that particular advert. It was on August the 28th. And then you tell them exactly what you're applying for. I wish to apply for a position as a volunteer to help in the running of your upcoming event. Upcoming event means an event that they're going to be holding in the very near future. So in the introductory paragraph, you have clarified where you found the advert, when it was, and you have also stated what it is that you are applying for. Now, once you have done that, then we move on to the next first point that IELTS wants us to address in our letter. That is A, explain why you're interested in helping. Explain why you're interested in helping. So this is kind of the main body of the letter. So explain why you're interested in helping. So you need to write a paragraph where you give reasons as to why you're interested in helping to run the charity event. What are your reasons? Now, in my case, that is step 4. That is the second paragraph. I'm very interested in helping to run the charity event due to a number of reasons. I am very interested in helping to run the charity event due to a number of reasons. So that is a topic sentence. It is a sentence that tells the reader what the rest of the paragraph is going to be about. So in the rest of the paragraph, I'm going to give reasons as to why I'm interested in helping to run the charity event. In the first instance, so I use a linking word to introduce the first reason. In the first instance, I really would like to make a difference in someone else's life by helping them accomplish tasks that they would struggle to do independently. So that is the first reason as to why I am interested in helping to run the charity, because I would really like to make a difference in someone else's life by helping them accomplish. Accomplish means to do. By helping them to do things, accomplish tasks, do things that they would struggle to do independently. That is the first reason. Besides that, I use linking words to introduce the second reason. Besides that, working with the disabled would give me the inspiration I need before I begin my degree course in social work in 6 months' time. Besides that, working with the disabled would give me the inspiration I need before I begin my degree course in social work in 6 months' time. So the second reason as to why I am very interested in helping is because I plan on beginning a degree course in 6 months' time, and the degree course is going to be about social work. So this charity event, helping to run the charity event, is going to give me the inspiration I need before my degree course begins. So besides wanting to make a difference in someone else's life, I would like to use that particular event as an inspiration before I begin my degree course in social work that is obviously related to charities. Okay, because besides that, working with the disabled people are people who are handicapped. Okay, they are handicapped, they are disabled. Okay, now I have addressed the first point, that is IELTS point A, explain why you're interested in helping. I gave 2 reasons as to why I'm interested. And now I'm going to move on to the next paragraph where I am going to give details about the second point, that is point B. Give details on suitable past experience. So in that point, IELTS wants you to write some details that are related to the experience you've had. Have you had any experience at all? Talk about the experience you have had before, where you are working in a charity, or you are helping or working as a volunteer. Okay, write about that experience in that paragraph. So let's move on to the third paragraph, that is step 5. In the past, I have looked after my brother who is handicapped, which has always given me a lot of satisfaction to see how much he enjoys my companionship. So in the past, the experience I have is that in the past, I have looked after my brother. My brother is handicapped, he is disabled, and looking after him has given me a lot of satisfaction. Because of, seeing how much he enjoys my companionship, how much he enjoys my company. Okay? The other reason, the other experience that I have is that I have also volunteered in a local orphanage where I helped with cooking and serving food. So besides looking after my brother who is handicapped, I have also volunteered in a local orphanage. An orphanage is a place where you have children whose parents have died. Okay, they don't have parents. These children live in an orphanage. An orphanage is a home where children who don't have parents live. Okay, so I have also volunteered in a local orphanage. Local means that it's very close to where I live. I have helped with cooking and serving food. So in that third paragraph, I have addressed IELTS point B, that is the second point. Give details on suitable past experience. Now we move on to the third point that IELTS wants us to include details about in our letter, and that is point C. Suggest ways you might help with the event. Suggest ways that you might help with the event. So in that point, IELTS wants you to give some suggestions, okay, as to how you can help with the event. So say what sort of things can you do to help with the running of the charity? What sort of things are you prepared to do? So let's move on to step 6, that is the fourth paragraph. Step 6, I am quite sociable, so I would really like to help with welcoming and entertaining the guests during your upcoming charity event. Okay, I'm quite sociable, so I would really like to help with welcoming and entertaining guests during your upcoming charity event. I would also be glad to help with cooking. So in that paragraph, I have given suggestions. I have told the reader of the letter what sort of things I would like to help with. Because I'm a sociable person, if you are sociable, it means that you enjoy interacting with other people. So because of that, I would really like to help with welcoming the guests and entertaining the guests during their upcoming charity event. Another thing that I would be happy to do would be to help with cooking. Now, that particular paragraph, you can also begin the paragraph by saying, during your upcoming charity event, I would really like to help with welcoming and entertaining guests. I would also be glad to help with cooking, okay? If you have a bit of a problem constructing sentences. Now, so in those paragraphs, we have covered IELTS point A, IELTS point B, IELTS point C. So we now move on to step 6, where we are writing the conclusion of the letter, okay? We are writing the conclusion of the letter, and you simply write, I look forward to hearing from you soon. I look forward to hearing from you soon. You're applying for a position as a volunteer, so you hope to hear from them very soon, and hopefully to hear that they have given you the position as a volunteer in their upcoming charity event. And then you move on. After that, you move on. After writing the conclusion, which is the conclusive sentence, step 7, you move on to step 8. And in step 8, you sign off the letter. And because it is a formal letter, you can sign off by saying, yours faithfully. Now, most of the times when you don't know the name of the person who is going to read your formal letter, because in this case we don't know, that's where we have used dear sir stroke madam, then you end it with faithfully. But when you know the name of the person who you are sending the formal letter to, then you can end the letter with yours sincerely. Okay? We use yours sincerely when you know the name of the person you are sending the formal letter to. But when you don't know, then simply use faithfully. And then after that, don't forget the comma after faithfully. After that, then you move on to step 9, and in step 9, you write your full name. Alice Jenkins. Alice Jenkins. So there you go. That's how you're supposed to structure this particular letter of application. You begin with the salutation, that is dear sir stroke madam. After that, you write the title of the letter, RE colon, application for a position as a volunteer. After that, you move on to step 3, where you introduce, you write the introductory paragraph while you're writing the letter. Then you move on to the main body of the paragraph, and in the main body of the paragraph, you write a paragraph based on each point that IELTS has instructed you to include in your letter. In step 4, we wrote a paragraph including the first information about the first point that IELTS has given us. Explain why you're interested in helping. We wrote the whole of paragraph 4 about that. And then after that, we move on to step 5, where we wrote about IELTS second point, that is B, give details on suitable past experience. We wrote about that in step 5. And then in step 6, we included information about the third point that IELTS wants us to include details about, and that is point C. Suggest ways you might help with the event. In step 6, we wrote about that. And then after that, you move on to step 7, where you write the conclusion of the letter. Just one sentence is enough. And then you move on to step 8, where you write, you sign off the letter, yours faithfully. And step 9, you write your name, Alice Jenkins. So there you go. That's how you're supposed to answer this question. If you found this lesson helpful at all, please give the video a thumbs up. Share the video with somebody else. Help somebody else the same way I have helped you. Help somebody else by sharing the video. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn your notification bell on so that you know when I upload another video that is going to help you. And also, while you're there, don't forget to have a look at other videos that I have and playlists that I have in the description box and in my pinned comment. Now, thank you very much, everyone, and I shall see you in our next lesson. Bye-bye.